Hey guys, Vectrex4Life here, back in another video, and today I'm going to be doing the long-awaited room tour video for you all, yeah. Now, I have gotten a ton of requests to do this since I did move into a new house and everything's completely changed around. My room is actually bigger now, and I'm really excited about that. Got a walk-in closet there, and I switched from having one TV in my room to now two, and having 0 monitors in my room to now 3. So quite a step up, and because we had to cut a room down on the entire house, so pretty much like that computer over there, that wasn't in my room before, and same thing with that one in there. But anyways, I got a lot to show, so we gotta get this going. So I got the door right there, and oh, by the way, I'm using a different camera right now. It's actually my grandma's camera. It's only 7 megapixels. I usually use this Nikon Coolpix. That's my newest camera that I use for all my videos from now on, but this camera can record for like 30 minutes straight, and that's what I need, and that camera can only record for 8 minutes straight. And so the quality will be a step down, but not by much. And also, I don't have a light in my room yet, so excuse the poor lighting on some of the parts. But anyways, so we got my main console setup right here. Got the Wii, white one, and also acts as my GameCube. Then we got a AV switcher back there. It's actually a console one, so it says like PS2, N64, VCR, CD, and Xbox. Then we got my small Toshiba Crt TV, tube TV. It's, really small, but since I'm not very far away from it, it's not a huge deal. Then we got my Sega Genesis Model 2, which is a bit dusty, and my Sega CD Model 2, and 32X. And the 32X actually isn't hooked up right now, it's just for display. I don't have the cable that connects to Genesis with the 32X, so I can't really use it right now, but I know it does work. That Sega CD is a pretty underrated console. I actually like it. You got a power strip right there, another power strip down there, and one behind there. And here I got my fat PS2 because they're better than the slim ones, and I just like the way this one looks. Great console, of course. And you got the Super Nintendo. It's in great condition except for the yellowing right there. But yeah. Great Pen 64. Love it. Original NES, the toaster one, of course. White Sega Dreamcast. I also have a black one up there. Original Xbox. This Xbox is pretty crappy. This is the one I had when I was a kid, and it doesn't play like about 10 of my games now. It's just so worn down. That's the word, worn down. Right here, this is new. I got a Sony Laserdisc player. I picked this up about a month ago, and it's pretty sweet. I'll show you the tray that comes out. Yeah, it's huge. I don't have any Laserdiscs, so I can't really use this right now. I can only use the CD player, but I really like it, and it works fine so far, from what I can test. Then right there, we got a Sega Saturn Model 1. That's also a pretty underrated console. Now we get to the first main game shelf. Up here is all boxed Genesis games. I think I have some pretty good titles in there. I don't have too many Genesis games, though. Sorry for the glare. Sonic 1, 2, and 3. Lost Vikings, Revenge of Shinobi. Then we get into Sega CD. Only about 10 games there, but I do have some of the best games on the console, like Android Assault and Sonic CD. Then we got Sega Saturn games. Continuing down there. Not very many games to that console either. And you got PS2. Very good console, of course. I never really had it as a kid, though, so I don't have many games for it. And then we got the Wii games. Not many of those. I got some more there that can't fit on the shelf. And then we got a random 360 game. I don't even own a 360. And a random PS3 game. I don't have that console either. Then we got some boxed PC games. Those are, some newer ones, not the big boxes. I have all my big boxed games up there, but those are the smaller boxes. Trash can. It's my main desk right here. I used to have my main Lenovo computer running Windows Vista, but its power supply recently broke down, so the only computer I have hooked up right now is that Dell computer right there. It runs Windows 95 and has 30 megabytes of RAM, a gigabyte hard drive, Windows 95 of course, and a 3.5 floppy drive and a CD drive. The only thing that was modded to this was the CD drive. I had to replace it. Got my comfy chair right here, the keyboard that goes with that computer, my Lenovo monitor, not very big. That's the one that came with my computer. And got some cute Pikachus up there. And got my big box game shelf where I put most of my box stuff. Got some Simpsons memorabilia here. I'm a big fan of that show. I got a Palm PDA, a wide gear magnifier for the Game Gear, serial mouse. I actually use that for my DOS computer. Mr. Pixel's programming paint set for the Commodore 64, factory sealed. It's actually the review copy, so it's not for sale. Beauty and the Beast for Intellivision, boxed, Asteroids for 2600 boxed, 3 boxed 5200 games, 1 boxed NES game. I got the boxed Super Nintendo games, and N64 games. I got a portable Space Invaders there, Game Shark 2 for PS2, and my DS Lite box for the blue one. Then we got some Gameboy Games up here, Japanese copy of Mario Land 2, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 and 3, and Monopoly. And here's some of the cooler stuff. We got a box Superscope. For a long time this wasn't complete because somebody stole the receiver and game when I found this at Goodwill, so I had to pick that up separately, but now it's complete. And in total I only paid under $10, so that's pretty good. Here we got my stack of controllers here. Boxed Ultra Racer 64 controller, a phaser pad for DOS, Windows 95, a Triton Game Master controller for the Genesis, Sega Dreamcast, the black one boxed. It's missing the games, but that's all I need right now. A Pong console in the box. It's a Hanimex 777. I actually did a review on that. We got an awesome Grand Theft Auto 4 poster. One of my favorite pieces of my collection right here. It's the Commodore SX64. All set up here, ready to play. Love this thing. It's basically the portable version of the Commodore 64. And we got my router and that Cox box thing. Kindle Fire. Galaxy S2. Yep. And this desk is actually pretty unique because it has a built-in power strip. Yeah. Got buttons on the front there. You can hook up about 6 different things to this. There's power outlets on the back of each button, so you can control, what things stay on, what things stay off. And you got 2 more plugs here and some dial-up ports, so that's pretty sweet. And also got drawers. Here's where most of my jewel-cased PC games go. Yeah, it's kind of tight in there. And this is just basically random stuff. Got some controllers, an extra keyboard, modem, just random PC crap, mostly. Then we got the NES shelf. NES is one of my biggest collections. We got some manuals up here. Sorry, I got it a little cold right now. Anyways, I'll go through those games. Contra is definitely one of my favorites. Probably my rarest NES game, and it's not really that rare, but the most expensive game I have is Lemmings right here. It's worth about $30. And we got some more continuing over here. And we got some albums here. This is my big case of loose PC games. They're just CDs only. Another keyboard. And we got this awesome Commodore tote bag. Oh yeah. Oh, what's this doing here? It's a sealed N-Gage game. See, I just got so many different games for so many different consoles I don't even own, because I just randomly find them. But anyways, here's my biggest collection of console games. PS1 right here. PC is my biggest collection of games, but as far as console gaming goes, PS1's definitely the biggest. and it's one of my favorite consoles too. Got the Crash games, Dance Dance Revolution Sealed. That's one of my rarer games. Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9. Here's a game I did a gameplay video on. Japanese game. Medieval 1 and 2. Metal Gear Solid, both the NTSC and the Japanese version. Monster Rancher, another one of my rarer games. Pac-Man World. Raystorm, Resident Evil 2. Another sealed game, Sentimental Returns. Can't really see that. Spyro 1, 2, and 3. Legend of Dragoon, great RPG. Tomb Raiders. And we got some long box games here, not many of those. Okay. And up here we got a boxed Game Genie with some like figures for drawing and a hilarious Double Dragon 5 poster. It's a terrible game, I don't have it, but I just got that awesome poster with the Genesis game. And here's my biggest game shelf, where most of my games go. I got some box stuff too. I got some Donkey Kong bongos. I don't have any games to go with it, but they work. You may not recognize it, but this is actually a boxed N-Gage QD, so I do have an N-Gage. But it doesn't come with the SIM card. I just found that out after I bought it. It was only like $10 at the swap meet, and I could open Worm's Old Party, but there's really no point, because I can't use it. But I also have Tony Hawk Pro Skater in there. So I have 2 N-Gage games. I got an RC Pilot remote controller. It's actually a game too, it's kind of cool. The controller's huge. I got my boxed Tandy Color Computer 2, which is right there. Pretty sweet computer. My boxed Super Nintendo, boxed Grand Prix 1, that's actually sealed. It's a racing wheel. And got the N64 games, right there. Probably my 2 rarest games are Conco's Bad Fur Day and Harvest Moon 64. It's kind of hard to tell which game is which, but I just keep them alphabetized. I got my small DS collection. There's just not many games that I really want for that console, so I don't have many of them. I got Super Nintendo games and Super Famicom right there. Got the Marios, F-Zero, Donkey Kong Country, Zelda. Then we got some of the older stuff. Got in television games up there. I don't have that console. That's one of the consoles I'm definitely looking for right now. I just never come across them. And get into Atari 2600. And then these are actually manuals for the TRS-80 color computer. Got 10 game manuals there, all in great shape. Then we get into TRS-80 games. And we got a Halo Warthog and a Call of Duty figure. And down here is some odder stuff. We got some movie CDs. Now, before DVDs came out, there was a whole different format for watching movies on your PC, and that was called the movie CD format. So I got 3 of those movies. Clones of Bruce Lee, Dragon Fist, and Mortal Kombat. And then this is mostly Sega stuff. Got some 32X games, Doom, Star Wars Arcade, and Virtual Racing Deluxe. Then we got Dreamcast games, not too many of those. Some burnt games too. Some Master System games. I don't have that console either, but I just found those games cheap, so I picked them up. They got loose Genesis games and some Jaguar games. Oh, I totally forgot. That reminds me. I do own a Jaguar, and I'll prove that to you. Down here I used to keep my controllers, and I still do, but not all of them. Most of them are in a different place now, but there's my Jaguar. Just kind of sitting there. I don't have much room on my shelf anymore. But I just keep bigger controllers in there, my Hyperscan, some zappers, that kind of stuff. Anyways, so yeah, loose Genesis games, some CDRs, and then this is all GameCube games, my original manual for it. I have about 30 GameCube games there. Love the GameCube, I grew up with it. There's that Worm's Old Party again. And then we got mostly Xbox here. Xbox is another one of my favorite consoles. Despite my Xbox barely even working anymore, I still love it. I got about 50 games for it. And we got some PSP games. and 3 CDI games. I don't have a CDI either, but I got Compton's Encyclopedia, Voyeur, and Battleship. So there's Xbox. And also these custom shelves. I built these custom shelves out of cardboard and just kind of fit them in there. Kind of a cheap way, but it works for me. We got some more PSP games. And then Amiga CD32 game, The Lost Vikings. I have this on the Genesis. But yeah. See, this is what I mean. I just find games for random consoles I don't even own, but I pick them up since I hardly ever see them. Here we got some cooler stuff. Got 2 power gloves. I use this in some of my thumbnails on my videos. And then we got some 5¼ floppy disks in there for DOS, pretty much. Some of them are blank, and most of them that are in there, they're just messed up, and they have bad sectors. And we got 2 metal DDR dance pads. These are really cool. I picked these up for about 20 bucks. They work great, and they're awesome. Just like the arcade. Then we got a box power pad right here. The box is pretty beat up, but the power pad does work. It's pretty fun. Then we got my Sylvania TV. This was the first TV I ever owned. It's quite small, as you can see, but this is the TV I use for some of my older consoles. I like the TRS-80, of course, or that computer. And in this drawer, I got a bunch more consoles in here. I got all my portables. I used to keep my portables over there, but they were getting too dusty, so I just kept them in here. So I got 2 original Game Boys, an Indigo Game Boy Advance, 2 Game Boy SSPs, 2 blue DS Lites, purple Game Boy Color, silver Game Boy Pocket, silver PSP 2000, and 3 Game Gears, 2 black, 1 blue. And then we got my second model, 6-switcher Atari. It's not the heavy 6er, it's the second model. I would love to have it out here, but I just don't have room on my shelves. Here's the Commodore 64, of course. Straight from my friend Make It or Fake It's shed. Wait, no, not Make It or Fake It. Bleach to Joy. Sorry, Bleach Joy. But yeah, this came straight from his shed, and it was all dirty. It was in there for about 20 years. If you want, you can watch our series of videos that we did on it, trying to find some Commodore stuff. But yeah, it's completely dirty, and we found the disk drive for it too. So there's the 1541, and both of them work pretty darn good. I like to use the SX64 now more though, because sometimes it shuts off randomly since the power gets a bit loose. Here we got a bunch of Commodore 64 games. Most of them are copied, but I got those off of eBay for really cheap. So that was awesome. Then we got my trophies here. That's actually a writing trophy I won. Most of these are baseball. And we got a Sonic the Hedgehog 2 pinball machine. That's pretty cool. Despite it being really small, it's actually really fun. Then we got some strategy guides and books on games. Then we got a fat warrior up there, keep holding up my big box PC games. I'll go through these real quick. Ow, just hit my head. See, the ceilings are so low, I'd hit my head. Ow. I have to bend down. I haven't got the chance to play some of these yet, but, you know, I'm working on it. Some really good games here. Some of these are sealed. Actually, I've got about 5 of these are sealed. Got Bicycle Pinnacle sealed, Doom 2 Screensaver sealed, Don't Quit Your Day Job sealed, got DOS version 3.30, Frogger Great Quest sealed, Click and Play, that's an awesome game creator. This is 90% sealed, this game, Battle Tank Simulator, Microsoft Word version 2, Pinball Builder sealed, let's see, Prince of Persia 3D, SimCity 2000, Space Quest 4, Star Trek Starfleet Academy sealed, Oregon Trail, love that game, that's the DOS version, and yeah, and actually Treasure Quest is sealed. The box isn't sealed, but the game inside is. And we got the headboard here, and a window out there, and right here is my PlayStation 1 with this attachment screen. Now this attachment screen is really cheap, and it's not as big as the official Sony one. It's an Interact one. It barely even works. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I like to play that in bed sometimes. Then we got some plushies here. Yoshi, Crash, Luigi, and Mario. And in my headboard, I like to keep this stuff here. Got some world's greatest books. from Bleach Joy Shed. We got some computer cards, floppy drives, CD drives, some screws to a computer. We got some music, Mortal Kombat, the soundtrack, and some Now CDs. A clock. And we got my Nintendo 46, another one of my favorite pieces in my collection. And I went through hell with this thing. I mean, I accidentally uninstalled some programs that I didn't mean to. The power supply went bad, so I had to switch it out. Just complete hell, but I love this thing. It's awesome. I got the Sony monitor here, CRT. It's pretty sweet. And as a keyboard, I use this clicky 1984 IBM keyboard. Love it. And under the keyboard, got a whole bunch of floppies. About 150 there. All for DOS that work on the 5 1/4" drive. I got a custom Herobrine Minecraft helmet I made. Godzilla figure in the box there. And my tripod and my laptop. And here I got all my portable games. Got my Gameboy Games on display, the originals. Game Boy camera, and then some Game Boy Advance games. And then underneath here, we got some more goodness. Got Game Gear games in Star. Actually, I have more Game Gear games than I do original Game Boy, I think. And then we got the walk-in closet. I'm totally excited about this. I mean, my original plan, it sounds crazy, but my original plan was to have this in there, that in there, that in there, and even that in there. But it was just, you know, gonna get too crowded. And I decided to go with something more practical. But I do have one set up in here. So I got my dresser here, a big old shelf here, some Godzilla movies, love Godzilla, some Super Mario Bros. Super Show, a Kindle Fire box. Got some high 8 videos, home movies from the early 2000s of me. The camera that goes with it, my DVD player, portable, another camera in there. We got a portable projector. Unfortunately, this doesn't work with any retro consoles, so I don't use it very much. We got a cheap video transfer thing. We got some cases there. And I only have one computer hooked up here, but it's my mom's old computer. Basically, this doesn't have an Ethernet port, so the internet really sucks on this thing. It's a no-name computer from 1999, and it runs Windows XP. It's not very fast. I can't remember all the specs, but it's really not that fast, and it has a 14 gigabyte hard drive. But I play most of my games on this, and I actually have quite a bit of room still on it. So yeah, basically all I do on this thing now is play games because the internet is horrible on it. I got a chair right there, fold out. And for the mouse situation, I came up with this. Got a stand here, and put the mouse on it. It's actually at a pretty comfortable height. And as a monitor, got a CRT Dell monitor. This is the monitor that we got with that computer. And the keyboard for it, of course. Got some pictures of me playing on my grandpa's computer. It's over there, like I said. So yeah, come on, focus. It's too bright. Anyway, well, there's me playing some Winnie the Pooh game. Yeah, on the Sony monitor. It's the same, and you can't see it all, but I can barely see in the background there, in that little case. Right there is Alonzo Jr. Arcade Racing, one of my favorite games on the PC. So I played this in 2003. I was about 5. I got a Ski-Doo tablet right there. That is actually, I barely remember using that. I don't have it anymore. I have the driver disc for it on a floppy, but nothing else related to it. I just got rid of it because I never really used it. But anyways, speaking of floppies, here's most of my 3.5-inch floppies. A lot of these are blank. We got Windows 95 on floppies. Some games, Battle Chess, Flux, Math Rabbit. And here's that driver. See, KB Gear Interactive Ski Doodle tablet driver. $19.99. So that's pretty cool. It's just drivers, so, you know, not very interesting. And in this sort of desk here, drawers, we got some homemade board games inspired by James Rolfe because he's awesome. Screwdriver set. Here's most of the interesting stuff. That's my first camera right there, a Nikon Coolpix L11. That's my second camera right there. It's a piece of crop Vivitar and some more camera junk. We got a Mario Money ad from Game Crazy. Love Game Crazy. Unfortunately, they closed a while ago. I got my writing binder with all my writing stuff because I like to write. Got some portables here. Marvel Madness, Mighty Max. Good stuff. And this bottom drawer is just music, basically, and some more writing things. Like, I used to play recorder, so I have some stuff about that in there. And if this clothes weren't here, I would have, you know, a lot more room, maybe even put another setup. But, unfortunately, you know, they have to come here. They have to go there. And we got this shelf set up. It's pretty big. Yeah, just stuff piled up back there. Super Smash Brothers for the N64. I have to put that in my duplicate games box. And also a spare NES. So yeah, headboard stuff. Like, I could have that out right now, but there's really no reason to. There just isn't. So I have some packed boxes in here. And we got the duplicate systems box with those consoles there. And that's basically a whole bunch of wires in my VCR. In there. And also, this no-name computer right there. You might remember that from one of my pickup videos. It's basically garbage now. The only thing that's left is the motherboard, and that's where most of these cards came from. So, yeah. I got my laundry. And the final part. The Vectrex and the Virtual Boy. Vectrex, definitely one of my favorite consoles. I love it to death. Got the controller right there. Works pretty well. Got a 72-in-1 multi-cart for it. I only have, my only cartridge game for it is Armor Attack. So that's really cool to have, that 72 multi-cart. Vectrex works pretty well. There's some issues with like text on the screen, but other than that, works pretty well. And we got a bunch of boxed Hyperscan card booster packs. Yeah, like 8 of them. Most of those are sealed. One of them fell. And I got the Virtual Boy, like I said, controller there. Got 2 Virtual Boy games, Mario's Tennis and Galactic Pinball. And then you might be wondering what these all are. Well, these are all PC games that I have not played yet. That's right. I own about 60, 70 PC games that I have never played before, but yet I own them. I know, I should be ashamed of myself. I'm working on it, though. I am. Got some 8 tracks there, and here's the controller setup. See, what I did here is, I had these shelves for a while, and the top left is for all the Nintendo systems, just 1 controller each, because most of the time it's just me playing a game, so I keep my favorite Nintendo controllers in there, and I keep the rest of the Nintendo controllers in here. Then same thing for everything else. Got all my, whoops, damn it. Got my favorite, Sega controllers in there. And they got the rest of the Sega controllers right there. And got some Xbox action and Atari stuff in there. Some more of that. And then this bottom stuff is just plug and plays mostly. Got a power joint there. It's actually pretty cool. And a Commodore plug and play. There's the power joint and a Commodore 64 plug and play. It's actually pretty cool. And a mini pool table because I like pool. And some sealed stuff. Got a Pokemon comic pack, Atari Power plug and play, a Sega Saturn Strike pad controller, WCW Nitro little portable, a PS2 DVD remote, a screen magnifier for the Game Boy Advance SP, and a case for the Game Boy Advance, which is a piece of shit. Literally, listen to this thing. Yeah, that sounds like quality, and it's hard. It's just plastic. So you're supposed to be able to clip it onto your belt, but I don't see how that could be comfortable at all. And now I'm having problems handling it. And got a pretty cool creepy picture right there. Anyways, I know that was long, 30 minutes, God. And I'm not going to edit it because that would just take too long and put space on my hard drive, and you know, I'm feeling really lazy right now. I'm feeling as lazy as LJR. I just am right now, so. But I really wanted to get this video out because I care about you guys. Yeah. Anyways. See you guys later. I'm gonna try to work on some reviews now.